Is it made for kids? I don't know. You tell me. JD with you tonight. Um, Hello and hi. Of course, Thanksgiving Eve. Um, just about 9:30. 34 days left until the end of the year. I don't know if you're like me. Just it's all just falling together here. We are less than a month away from Christmas, and so much is happening. Millions of Americans getting ready to hit their local favorite watering hole tonight. Thanksgiving Eve, considered to be one of the year's biggest party nights. DRUNKSGIVIng is what this night is called by many. This big party night. Not an official holiday, but you'd never know. Based on the amount of people who are out partying the night before Thanksgiving. We're saying, please be careful out there. There are people that are back in holiday with nowhere to be in the morning. Yeah, Drunksgiving, the night before Thanksgiving. Blackout Wednesday, I think, is one of the number of names it's been called. Drinksgiving, I've heard before. Whiskey Wednesday, just whatever you call it. Just don't drink and drive tonight. Don't be a dumbass. I think it's pretty much a given that police departments and emergency rooms kind of staff up on the night before Thanksgiving. But just be careful. Don't drink and drive tonight if you're out. Every year at Thanksgiving, I can't help but remember Thanksgivings past and all of the laughs that I shared with so many of you at the expense of the good folks over at the Butterball Turkey Talk line. And of course, if you could have prank these kind, innocent people who really, when you get down to it, they're just there to help the helpless, like me, guys in the kitchen, trying to prepare that Thanksgiving meal. So mean of me. All those years on the radio in the morning. And listen, if you're gonna prank the people over at Butterball, if you're gonna do it, then you're gonna do it right. You've got to do it live on the air, which is what I did so many years. And again, every year Thanksgiving, I recall some of my favorite pranks to Butterball, like the year that I called them, and again, this was all live in the air. Told them that I had, what did I say, 25, 30 people coming over for Thanksgiving, and that I forgot to thaw the 2 turkeys, both birds, and I had them. I think I called them the day before Thanksgiving. I think it was a Wednesday. I think it was the Wednesday morning before, and told them that I had 2 frozen turkeys in a bathtub of hot water, trying to thaw them up quickly. And of course, Mrs. Butterball tried to talk me out of it. That was a lot of fun that year. Then there was the beer can stuffing, where I took the beer can. You've probably heard this before. You take the beer can and you open it up and you put it inside of a chicken or a duck or a turkey, and that it's like a steam marinade, keeps the meat nice and moist. One year I called Butterball and told them that I put a 40-ounce beer can in the rear end of a turkey, and forgot to open the can, and that it exploded in the oven with all of my guests there, and there was turkey everywhere, stuck in the ceiling. The stove door, the oven door blew open, and there was foaming beer and turkey meat everywhere. That was a lot of fun. Then there was the turd Dunkin'. The turd Dunkin' is the turkey that's stuffed with, I think, a duck. I'm pretty sure that's how that works, an old recipe. So I called Butterball and told them that I had a turkey stuffed with a duck. The duck was stuffed with a hen, and the hen was stuffed with a baby chick. Sorry, Peter, if you're listening tonight and this is upsetting you, but it was just good, clean fun at the expense of Butterball. Um, that was an interesting one. And then the one where I realized as I was taking the turkey out of the oven that I had left all the giblets in the turkey. Did I just say giblets? I think I did. And the lady was so kind and so loving and so gentle and trying to convince me to not serve this turkey. And of course, my response to that was, I've got to. I've got all these people here. They're here. Can we eat this turkey even though I cooked it with all the giblets in?" And of course, her answer was no, that everybody would get sick. Hey, health experts were speaking out today on the internet. I've got it right here saying that when you prepare your Thanksgiving Day meal, skip washing the turkey. The USDA says that when you wash raw turkey or chicken, you spread germs into your sink and onto your nearby food and kitchen counters. And those germs are obviously going to spread and could, they've got salmonella. And the only way to kill bacteria on uncooked poultry is to cook it thoroughly. So a whole turkey is, what do they say there? Is safe when cooked to a minimum internal temperature of 165 degrees. It's the internal temperature. Okay, tomorrow, 165 degrees. So we have millions of people that are expected to line the streets of New York City tomorrow to watch the 93rd Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade tomorrow morning, and billions are going to be tuned in to watch it on TV. I see that Billy Porter, Josh Dela Cruz, the Rockettes, all supposed to be performing, along with Debbie Gibson. She'll be performing too. Second year in a row, by the way, that they're going to, at least some fireworks anyway, are going to be starting the parade. Why we're launching fireworks off at, 8 o'clock in the morning, don't know. But yeah, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade started in 1924. 1924. And if you do the math, that's 95. I hope I'm doing the math right. 95 years. But this is the 93rd annual. So I was curious about that today. And I said, it's got to be World War II. There must have been some kind of event that stopped the parade for a couple of years, and that was it. The parade was halted during World War II because of the rubber and helium shortages. So Macy's canceled the parade from 42 to 44 and deflated its rubber balloons, which weighed, by the way, 650 pounds, and they donated rubber to the government during World War II. Macy's. Pretty interesting. So 2 years missed. So this is year number 93. But again, it started in 1924. Now, the weather tomorrow, unclear whether the wind speeds are going to keep the balloons grounded. There's been a lot of chatter about this, on the internet and on TV. Officials say it's going to be a last-minute decision on whether the balloons are going to be flying tomorrow. I don't know if you remember back in the late 90s, it was November 27th. This is the anniversary of that 34-year-old woman who was critically injured during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade when the high winds pushed one of the balloons, the Cat in the Hat balloon, into a lamp post. Do you remember this? And the lamppost toppled, and part of it fell onto a woman's head. She was in a coma for about a month. So I'm not going to be surprised if they end up keeping the balloons on the ground tomorrow, tomorrow morning. So we'll see. But the Upper West Side this afternoon, they did go through with their annual balloon inflation event. A lot of people there. They've got 5 new floats this year, including I don't want to be this is a little bit of a spoiler alert here. All right, so if you're a huge fan of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, cover your ears because I'm going to tell you about some of the floats you'll see tomorrow. Okay, Blue's Clues. There's a Lego float called the Brick Changer. There's a glittering dinosaur named Rexy. There's also a House of Marvelous float and a Cracker Barrel float featuring rocking chairs, a fire, and a giant pumpkin pie. At least one. Snoopy's also going to be there, of course, in the form of an astronaut. He's one of the oldest balloons in the Macy's parade. There's also going to be a flying ham carrying Sam and Guy from Green Eggs and Ham. So, and Smokey Bear also going to be making a return tomorrow morning if you're watching. So we have a lot of people, millions of Americans that are traveling over Thanksgiving this year. And according to AAA, 55 million, actually just more than that, are traveling more than 50 miles from home. And that's an increase of about 3% over last year. 49 million behind the wheel alone. 49 million of the 55 driving. It's crazy. It's the most since 2005. And I don't know what was so special about 2005, but about 4.5 million expected to fly, and 1.5 million going to be traveling by train or bus or cruise. And speaking of cruises, and I posted this up on Facebook if you want to have a look at this thing, the gingerbread cruise ship that is on display at a shopping mall in Atlanta, Georgia. It's 23 feet long, weighs 1,500 pounds. It is a replica. You talk about advertising, a replica of the new Carnival Mardi Gras, which is going to be setting sail next year. This gingerbread alone was put together with 130 pounds of flour, 50 gallons of icing, and 10 pounds of cinnamon. Imagine that in your coffee. Wow. It's a really spectacular thing. If you haven't seen it yet, hop on my Facebook page. You'll see it right there. The ship has got the tiny snowmen that are playing golf and having fun at the water park. And it even includes what's going to be the first ever, get this, roller coaster at sea. Don't know about you. Don't know how many cruises you've been on. But roller coasters on boats, I'm not voting for that. No, not going to do it. But AAA says if you're gassing up before you head out today, the national average right now about $2.57 a gallon, which is on par with last year. Rental car prices, however, are the highest on record. $75 per day on average. Again, that is the average, the national average. So if you're renting a car, probably going to be paying a little bit more this year. So big story this Thanksgiving, of course, the 2 storms that are making their way across the country, bringing rain and snow and wind from coast to coast, really. According to FlightAware, there are 550 flights that have been canceled and about 600 that have been delayed. And that number, those 2 numbers were as of about 4 or 5 hours ago. I wouldn't be surprised if that was way up from that right now. There's more than 20 million people from California to Michigan that are currently under a winter weather advisory for what is being called a historic storm. That's left behind about a foot of snow so far. So was listening to a little bit of Roger Hill and following his Wuthering Heights website and reading about these two storms colliding and moving across the country. By the way, the forecaster experts are saying that they believe that Sunday is going to be the biggest travel nightmare as the high winds and the heavy rain going to be hammering the Northeast. And conditions across the country expect to bring a lot of slick roads, poor visibility, overall, just basic dangerous travel conditions. So, Sunday, the biggest back end of Thanksgiving weekend travel is going to be the worst weather wise. So, I don't know. If you can zip out Saturday night, might be a little easier for you. And if all of this is stressing you out for the Thanksgiving holiday, here's something that you can do that will ease the stress. Of course, the tryptophan in the turkey is going to help a little bit. Do that little turkey nap afterwards in the lounge there. Just kick the feet up and get the game on. Put back that second piece of apple pie and let the tryptophan do its work. But if that's not enough for you, if you're still feeling anxious, if you're concerned about the roads and traveling and the crowds, there's a new side dish that Thanksgiving feasters are going to have fun with this year. Well, at least a few of them. There's a California company that is selling gravy infused, marijuana infused gravy. So you can pour this beautiful golden gravy on your mashed potatoes that's infused with marijuana. It's got to come out of California. It's called Kaiva Confections. And they claim that it'll help you deal with awkward dinner conversation in under 15 minutes. The gravy comes in powder form. All you have to do is add water, heat it up, and serve it. And it sells for the low, low price of just $5. I'll put a link up on Facebook here in a little bit. I'm not sure where you can buy this stuff. It's probably too late. Maybe you can make your own. I don't know. Thanks to President Trump for pardoning. What was it? Bread and butter, I think, were the names of the two turkeys. Unbelievable. I see the story about the steakhouse in New York City. Did you hear about this? $181,000 Thanksgiving meal. Let me say that again. I'm not joking, a $181,000 Thanksgiving meal in New York City. It's at the Old Homestead Steakhouse. Here's what you get for $181,000, which could be a pretty nice house. It comes with gold painted, get this now, gold painted, gold flaked, and gold crusted turkey. Not sure what that means. How are we putting gold paint and gold flakes on our turkey? Not sure how that's edible. What else is on the menu? Spanish bacon, which if you know your good Spanish bacon, you probably know that it runs around $1,200 a pound. We have Japanese strawberries. That's going to set you back about $250 for a dozen. Not bad. Caviar, $1,600 an ounce, and a few other things on the menu. But just like the $125 loaf of bread, that's part of it. Then that you also get as part of your Thanksgiving meal tickets to the Super Bowl. Not sure how good the seats are. You get a yacht cruise, and you also get a pair. That's two. A pair of iPhone 11 Pro Max smartphones, along with your gold dusted turkey that you can't eat because it's got gold on it. Yeah. Assuming you get to keep the gold after you've rinsed all of the turkey juice. I don't know. I don't know how these things happen, but it's a crazy world. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Listen, if you're planning on getting out to the movies, FGB Theaters is just crushing it right now. They got a lot of stuff going on, some great movies this weekend. Star Wars, want to tell you, on the 19th of December, we'll be at the Capitol. It's going to be amazing. And the Paramount, both on the 19th of December. You can pre-order your tickets if you want to get them ahead of time so you don't have to wait in line. FGBtheaters.com. Again, FGBtheaters.com to get your Star Wars tickets so you will not have to wait in line on the 19th of December. And the line's going to be big. I'll be there at one of the two theaters, broadcast live, and I cannot wait for it. At the Capitol this Thanksgiving weekend, we have Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, of course, with Tom Hanks. Everybody is talking about that it's a must-see. Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. We also have Last Christmas, Knives Out, Good Liar, Ford versus Ferrari, and Frozen 2 out in the theaters this Thanksgiving weekend. Over at the Paramount, 21 Bridges and Frozen 2 is playing. Please be careful this weekend. If you're out traveling, go easy and take good care of yourselves, and we'll catch you next time. I appreciate you subscribing, and I got to say right now, right here, thank you so much to Gothier's Quality Grounds and Maintenance of Orange. I was chatting with Jason tonight, and he was telling me that he started out with a two-wheel drive truck and a snowblower in the back. And now he's got this beautiful 3/4 ton. He is out plowing 47, I think that's what he said, 47 customers. So he's a great guy. Property maintenance, if it's what you need, if you're already thinking about spring cleanup, mowing, landscaping, what have you, get in touch with him. He is a super, super guy. Gothier's Quality Grounds and Maintenance. You can find them on Facebook. They're right in Orange, and they say it's not just a job, it's a passion, which is certainly the case with Jason Gothier. He cares so much about the people that he takes care of, especially the elderly. He's got a big heart, super guy. We also have a Project Independence, of course, and they're going to be coming on the show very, very soon. Active Adult Day Health Services right here in the heart of Barrie. pibarrie.org is their website. Fontaine Forestry and Millworks of East Montpelier. We love them. Route 14, just below Bragg Farm. Mark Fontaine and his family are wonderful, wonderful people. And I want to thank Chris Wright, Lisa Wright, over at Wright Electric, one of my new presenting sponsors here at Fly on the Wall Productions and CVTV. Aired Out is the name of the podcast. Thanks again for subscribing. Happy Turkey Day. Happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. Again, take care of one another. Be good, and we'll catch you real, real soon.